Welcome everybody to our March Artist webinar here at Spoonflower. We are going to just give a minute or two for people to join. So as you're coming in, just go ahead and pop into the chat, say hello. I know we usually share where we're from, but I'm really feeling the spring vibes today. So let's drop favorite flower. Favorite flower in the chat. I'm not going to say mine until I see it pop up in chat. Sunflower, Megan got my favorite in there right away. One of the top 5, I think. Lots of tulips, awesome. I'm curious if I asked what's your favorite flower to draw, if your answer would be different. Thistle, awesome. Yeah, lots of tulips. Lots of people feeling the spring vibes with tulips and daffodils. I'm here for it. Beautiful. All right. So while you all continue to drop your favorite flowers, I am going to just go ahead and get us started while people continue to join. So first of all, thank you for joining us today for this Spoonflower Artist webinar all about design challenges. If you're new to our artist webinars, my name is Jessie Katz Greenberg, and I'm the artist community manager here at Spoonflower. In just a bit, I'll be joined by our speakers, Julie and Peyton, but first I just want to share a few details. So number one, we are recording this webinar. You will receive a link to a full replay later this week. We're going to put the replay up on our YouTube channel where you'll be able to watch it with closed captioning as well. We're also saving time at the end for Q&A. So once Julie and Peyton and I all get through our presentations, just save your questions for the end and we will get to them at that time. So we have an awesome lineup for you today. I'm going to go ahead and get us started with a poll because I know that we are talking about design challenges today, but I'm curious if everyone here has even entered a design challenge. So I'm going to go ahead and share that poll. How many design challenges have you entered? Is it 0, 1 to 10, 10 to 25, 25 to 100, which I know is a big jump, but I know a lot of you have goals to enter every consecutive challenge for a year. So I think there might be a lot of people in there coming in around 50 challenges or 100 plus if you've been with us for a long time. All right, lots of people still answering, so I won't quite read the results yet, but so far it seems like most of you are dabbling in challenges, but aren't quite at the 25 plus mark yet, which is great. So while we continue with that poll, let me just give you a preview of what's to come. So I'm going to share a very brief overview of what our design challenges even are for any of you who are new. And then I'll introduce our guests, Julie and Peyton. And they're going to share some exciting updates to the Design Challenges platform that they've been working on with our artist platform team. All of those updates that they walk through today will be going live early to mid-April. After Julie and Peyton, I'll hop back on to share some general design challenges info, including benefits of design challenges, how we select themes, and a few fun design challenge stats, which I'll be reaching out for some audience participation during. And then we'll open it up to the Q&A that I mentioned. We've got Spoonflower's social media manager, Nicole, moderating chat today. So go ahead, say hi to Nicole in the chat and be on the lookout for her sharing helpful links throughout this event. And speaking of helpful links, she's going to go ahead and share one now for staying up to date on all things artists at Spoonflower. And you can do that by signing up for our emails. And that's how you'll stay up to date for webinars like this and other updates that we have coming up, like these design challenges that we're going to talk about. And let's see, looking at that poll. All right, it looks like we landed at 38% of you have entered 1 to 10, and that was our most popular number. And I see a couple answers still trickling in, so feel free to continue answering that poll if you haven't already, but that's super helpful for us to know where you stand in design challenges so far. So first, for anyone who's new, What are Spoonflower Design Challenges? These are weekly design challenges that we host to encourage creativity and inspire and empower you, the Spoonflower artist community, to upload new designs to the Spoonflower Marketplace on a weekly basis. Although a competition, these challenges should provide an opportunity for you to connect with and encourage each other, and for you to grow as an artist, regardless of where you place in the challenge results. And we're going to look at that a little bit more in depth later. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up our speakers. And while I do that, I'm going to give them a little introduction. So first, we will have Peyton Crump. He is our Director of Product and UX for the Spoonflower Artist Platform. He has been in this role for a little over a year, and he and his team are working hard to listen to artists and create a better artist experience. Peyton's favorite thing about Spoonflower is our commitment to diversity and inclusion, our empowerment of women leaders, and the joy we receive through artists, their art, and their stories every day. And I'm also going to get Julie up here. Julie is a product manager for the Artist Platform and has worked at Spoonflower for 9 years. She's a graduate of NC State College of Design, and prior to working at Spoonflower, she owned and operated her own business. So as an artist and a former entrepreneur, she has a passion for improving the artist experience here at Spoonflower. Julie's proud to be part of a company that empowers people to express themselves through design and helps artists make a living through their work. So I already see it's starting to happen, but show some love for Julie and Peyton in the chat. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and let you two take it away.
Peyton, I think you're up first.
All right, thanks. Hello, everyone. So yeah, we're really excited to show you what we've been working on. If you're not familiar, it was a little bit over a year ago that we formed a separate and focused artist platform team. And so we have dedicated resources, and Julie and I are just excited about not only this, but the other things that will be coming that are artist focused this year. We did want to share with you user goals for the first release, and specifying first release is important to know because we couldn't do everything in this release. So we've gathered lots of feedback. We've heard lots of thoughts and questions and opinions on design challenges, but they, quite frankly, they just won't all appear in this release. But we are hearing you, and we are collecting feedback. So first here, we heard loud and clear that voting could be easier. And so we've done some things here that hopefully will make that the case. We related to that pretty directly is we wanted to allow voters to save their progress and return later. So lots of feelings of being kind of overwhelmed, the infinite scroll, all those kinds of things. So we're trying to make that easier. We wanted to create a better mobile experience, make overall navigation through design challenges easier. So there were some things that were a bit frustrating about that with how it is currently implemented. Give artists more information about theme and rules when entering designs. This in an effort to, just one of the things is to try to keep more of the entries on theme as much as we can. And then create a new My Design Challenges page to show voting and entry history. And we found on this one that a lot of users aren't even aware that of the My Design Challenges menu item. If you go under your user navigation, it is pretty sad currently. And so we're excited to put forward an updated version of that. And then we did want to just share our kind of internal goals because they are, I think, helpful for you to understand. but this is this will be, we'll be releasing this in a few weeks or so. This is a complete rebuild of design challenges on a modern code base. And then that just allows for future updates, internal needs, those kinds of things to be able to happen, period, but also happen more quickly. And then we want to significantly reduce the time that our employees, the admins of challenges, are spending moderating, working on design challenges, overall management. So we're very excited about that as well. And with that, I'll pass it over to Julie, who's going to walk us through a demo of the things that you'll be seeing here in a few weeks.
Yeah, thanks, Peyton. It's a perfect intro. So what I'm going to show you in the next couple of minutes are some videos that I took earlier today of the new experience that we'll be releasing soon. I did them in a video form just so that the developers that are still working on it can continue working on it and we don't have to disrupt their work. So I'll have to pause at some spots and talk about it as I go. But I'm just going to walk you through the entire experience, and then I think that we will maybe go to questions after that. But definitely put your questions in the chat, and Nicole and Jessie can help you there. So to start, let's see. Oh, I've got to pause there. All right. How do I restart it? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so to start, when you come to Spoonflower, when we release this, you will still find design challenges in the same place they've always been. They'll be in that top right, but when you click on it, you will see our new design challenges landing page. We've changed a lot about the layout. We've tried to make it easier to find everything that you're looking for around challenges, to vote, to see the most recent winners, to check out the current challenges that you could still enter into. So we've got a couple of those here. I've got one demo one in there. And we've also added a convenient link for people to sign up for updates of challenges. If you want just specifically updates of challenges, you can do that here. That way people can follow along and get the emails when something changes. We've also added this Why Participate section for new artists that really gives you a lay of the land of what this is all about, encourages people to join, and everything like that. The prizes section is also just laid out more clearly to show you the typical prizes for a challenge. Each challenge will be a little bit different, but that at least gives you the typical ones. And then a section on past challenges and past challenge partners. There's also a feature here where you can click on one of the past challenge partners and go directly to the most recent challenge that we did with that partner, which I think is just like a nice little highlight. So next I'll show you the past challenges page. I'll pull up that next video. So if you're on the landing page, you can click on one of the most recent past challenges there, or you can shop all past challenges, which the video might have frozen. Oh, there it goes. All right. So when you come on to this page, you will see all of the past challenges from the past 10 plus years. I think it might be 12 years. I forget. Multiple pages of challenges, which can be overwhelming, but we have added a new feature here where you can search. So let's say you're looking for wallpaper challenges, because we've got some really good designs that came out of wallpaper challenges recently. You can type that in and it will show you those right away. You could search for, let's see, I think I put calendar in here next. Yeah, you can see all of our past calendar challenges, which we have a ton of great ones there too. So that is a new feature that I'm particularly excited about, because I like to browse through there, like there's a seashells one that's showing right now. I'll know that there's a seashells one, and I just don't remember what year it was. I can easily type it in and find it. So I'll next go to what it looks like when you're looking at one of these past challenges pages. So let's say that do I need to restart this one? There we go. Let's say that I browsed for all of our past Halloween challenges, and I found our Phantasmagoria challenge, which was a great challenge. This is what these new pages will look like once the results are public. We've got a new section for the winner at the very top, but we're still showing all the designs below. People are still able to favorite. They can click into the design and look at it on the product detail page. They can zoom in, see all the details, add to cart, just like you can today, but just in like a cleaner format. There's a lot of good designs in this one. And then if you get down to the bottom, you'll also be able to see the designs that didn't make it into the top 50 or so, and view all of those designs in search. And the benefit to viewing them in search is that you've also got all of these filters on the side. So you can narrow things down. I won't go into all of that. That's for another day, but just you'll still be able to do all the same stuff you've been able to do with the other challenges. Let's see. So I want to show one other example. This was the teamwork challenge from last year, almost a year ago. Yeah. Another feature that we're adding here is for the winning design, if the artist has never won a challenge before, we're adding a little badge that says first time winner right next to them. And I'm pretty excited about that. I think it's going to really show like how people are kind of rising through and really making better designs week after week, because we see that happening. But now we have a way to highlight that. The other thing that you'll notice here is we've got the profile image, we've got the user's username, and a description about the design. And I chose this one because this artist did a really good job of describing their design. And I'm hoping that will encourage others to do the same thing now that your description will be featured here when you win. So I'll let the video play and click through some more of this. So again, you can click through and see the product detail page and choose other fabrics, zoom in, just like you can. Yeah, and hopefully, when you're getting in these top rankings, this is what customers are doing. They're clicking in, they're adding to cart, they're exploring. So just showing here how you can also go to this person's page and see all of their designs, maybe favorite some other things that you see that you also like. I've definitely found a lot of artists this way. A lot of my favorite artists I have found through a challenge where I see they did something cool and I see them doing it week after week, and I end up clicking through to their profile and buying something that they didn't enter into a challenge. So we want to keep that going. So yeah, same here. You can go to search to see more. We also have all of the challenge details are just hidden below because they're not needed anymore. This is what you need when you enter. So we just hide that. And then I think I show at the bottom that you can see a list of all of the entries and the votes for each entry. So if you want to see where you ranked, you can see that, or just see everybody else who was in there. And then, okay. So this is a little bit of a jump in what I'm showing you now. It's a little bit out of order and it'll make sense in a few minutes. But this page is another way to view your entries and your position in the challenges. So I was just showing you that place where you can scroll and find out how many votes you received. But this is also another place where you can do that. You'll see I have highlighted in blue there the number of votes and the place that I got for that. This is a very old staff challenge that we did a very long time ago. So yeah, just highlighting that we've now got a second place where you can see where you place in a challenge. And I think I might have gone over that page a little bit too quickly, but that is also a great kind of like place to see all of your designs that you've ever entered, see kind of stats on them, you know, how many votes you've gotten over time. And you know, some of the people who are answering that they've entered into over 50 challenges, that page is going to look very cool for you because there's just a lot there to explore and really see it all in one place. So yeah, I think this is just going through a little bit more of like, this is that staff challenge and these are those winners, and the other place that I could show that I could see my, my votes. Okay. So that is a past challenge that has entries and has finished voting and results are final. Now I'm going to show you an individual challenge, like a single challenge that is still open for entries, so you can see what that's like. So if you're on that main challenge page, you can go to the current challenges again and see what is available for you to enter into. In this example, we're going to go to this abstract animal print one. We're going to click into that and see how this page looks when it's open for entries. You can see that button at the top to enter your design if you're just ready to enter. But if you want to scroll down and see more details about the challenge, what the theme is and what the inspiration should be for your design, you can do that below. We've also got this expanded section that has even more fine details of what you need to enter this challenge. So it talks about when the entries close. It talks about how the design will be viewed. So I think, yeah, so this one is going to be curtains. So that's how you can tell. It's also talking about the acceptable repeat types that will be available for this challenge. Every repeat type is available. It's occasionally that there's a challenge where maybe you can only enter centered or you can't enter centered repeat. So that would be listed here if that were the case. Most challenges you can do any type. And then it also just has some basics that are true for every challenge, which is you need to upload the design after the challenge was announced, and things like that. So then you can hide those details. And we're going to put a how to enter video here. Right now we have a placeholder, but I will show you that how to enter video in just a minute, right after we go through this page. We've also added this really nice timeline that makes it super clear how much time you have to enter and how much time there will be to voting and when that will be, and then when the results will be made public. Got the date and the time there so that you know. And this prizes section, we showed this on that other page, but if there's something specific about this challenge, it will show here. So maybe if it's a partner challenge and there's something specific with that partner, it will show something different in the prizes here. Okay, so that is the individual challenge page. Let's see, the next one here is that tutorial. So that video that's going to show on that page will say how to enter is what I'm going to show next. It has some audio. It's kind of soft, but it is the same audio that's being written on the screen. So if you can't hear it, you're not going to miss anything. And also we'll fix the audio when we put it on the page live. So I'll play that now and I'll go on mute.
Note that sometimes 3D product images can
Sorry, I'm trying to make it restart. Technical difficulties here.
While you pull that up, Julie, I know since you've been presenting, You haven't had a chance to see chat, but I just wanted you to know that there is so much positive sentiment in chat, especially around that first time winner badge, just the look and design of everything. And there was one other thing that everyone was very excited about that now I'm losing my mind and forgetting, but pop into the chat. Let us know what you're most excited about with what Julie has shared so far. Timeline was super helpful. Just wanted to make sure, Julie, you know that everyone is super excited about this. And now I'll let you get back to your how to enter video.
I appreciate that. I mean, I do love hearing that. I am the person presenting this, but there is a whole team of multiple developers and product managers and UX designers who have been working on this for a long time. And it's good to hear the positive feedback that we're on the right direction. So thank you. Okay, so I will hit play on this video.
First, log into Spoonflower. If you don't have an account, create one and then log in. Once logged into your account, upload the design you wish to enter into the challenge. Adjust your entry on the Design Edit page and click Save Changes. In this example, we'll be making our design work for a duvet. Click here to see how your design will look on different product types. Here we can see how our design looks on a duvet cover before we enter it into the challenge. Note that sometimes 3D product images can take up to 5 minutes to update after you've made changes to your scale or repeat. Click the Enter a Challenge button on the left. Select the challenge from the drop-down menu. Review the voting preview. Confirm your design fits the prompt and give your design a thoughtful title and description. Happy? Click Submit Entry. Not quite perfect? Click Edit or Cancel. Once you successfully submit your design, you'll see it here. Your design will automatically be set to public so it can be seen during voting. If you mark your design as private after entering it, your design will not be visible to voters in the challenge.
All right, let's see. Make sure I'm not on mute again. All right. Yeah, so that will be the video that will be shared out. I love Emily's voice on that. She's so calm. She does those videos. But I'm going to show a little bit more detail on that page, that new page that she showed, the entry submission page, in this next video. So let's see. Let's hit play here. So this is, I've just decided that I want to enter this design into a challenge. So I've clicked that button that says enter into a challenge, and then I'm brought to this page. The next thing I need to do is select which challenge I'm entering it into. And I'll have this drop-down menu that will show me what challenges I can or cannot enter. So just as the first one, I've chosen this garden bedding demo version, not the real one. And it shows me what the design is going to look like on bedding, which is just really nice to have that right there. I can try another challenge to see what that one will look like. I'll do doodle bugs. And let's say that I've, wanted to try one other one. So when I try the East Fork one, it gives me this feedback right away that says my design was created before that challenge was announced. So that means I'm not eligible. I need to create a design specifically for that challenge and enter it into that one. So that's fine. I can just click the X out of that and select a different challenge that's appropriate for this design. So for this example, I'm going to choose the abstract animal print. Now, just pretend that the design that I'm showing is actually an abstract animal print. For the demo, I did not have enough time to come up with one. And I'm excited to see what other people come up with for this one. But yeah, just pretend that it is appropriate for this design challenge. A lot of the changes that we've made on this page are particularly to help encourage artists to design for the challenge, to know the theme of the challenge while they're entering, and to make sure that they're fitting the rules. So that's why we have added this additional check mark that says, read the theme, make sure that it does fit. If it doesn't, find a different challenge for it, or create a design that does fit this challenge. We also really want you to put an appropriate title for each design. These do show up in voting. They show up once the results are public. If you win, it's going to be right there at the top. So you want to make sure that you pick a title and a description that really puts the best foot forward for that design, for voters and for shoppers. It does also show on the product detail page when someone's buying it. So even if someone finds your design some other way that's outside of design challenges, it's still good to give it a good title and a good description. This also helps if the Spoonflower employees are needing to moderate out designs that maybe don't fit the challenge. We can clearly look at your title and your description and know what your intentions were for your design. So if you're happy with this, you can go ahead and submit. If not, we've got other buttons here for you to edit your design or cancel and go back to your design library, but we'll go ahead and submit. And it gives us feedback up in the right that it was submitted, so there's no question there. We know it's in there. And then as we scroll down on this page that I was showing you all earlier, you can see over on the left that there it is. There's my entry. It's also showing me voting hasn't started, and entries hasn't closed yet. So if I need to make any changes, I know that I can. I know that I've got a little time. And it also gives me the option to withdraw my entry if I want to. So I think, okay, I do click the button. I couldn't remember if I actually clicked it. Yeah, and then it lets you know it's withdrawn. It's no longer on that page anymore. And you could submit a different one. So I still have time to make an abstract animal print if I want to. I've withdrawn that one now, so I can make another one. I don't know if I will have time, but I'm excited to see what other people do. All right, so that covers everything through submission. The last thing that I wanted to show was what it's like to vote in these new challenges. And I'm excited about a lot of what we're doing, but I'm very excited about the changes that we're making here too. So same as you would with another challenge, you would come to the main landing page, you would find the challenge that's available for voting. I'll also note that in this example, I am already logged in, and I'm going to show you what it's like for a logged in user to vote. And I can note the differences for a guest, but logged in user is usually the best way to vote, so that you can get these cool new features we have. So you click through to the vote page. It'll show you that prompt again. And the first thing that I want to note here is there's a couple of things. One thing that we've done is we have changed it to be three votes required. And the main reason is that we really want people to explore the designs that are here. I know that some people may have a favorite person they're coming to vote for, a friend they're coming to vote for, but we really want people to be part of the community and explore all of the beautiful art that people have submitted. So we're going to give that a try and see how that goes. I mean, I've never been able to vote for just one design personally, and most of our community does already vote for a lot of designs. I mean, I've voted for like 100 before, but just like going through and seeing all the good stuff. So we just want to encourage more people to do that. So that's one thing. The other thing is that we've made more of a distinction between the vote buttons and the favoriting buttons, so that it's super clear when you're voting for something or if you're trying to favorite something. We saw some confusion about that in the past. The other huge thing here is that instead of it being an endless scroll, it is now paginated, which is, it's kind of a small detail, but kind of a big detail. So you can see how many pages you have left. So right now in this challenge, there's 8 pages. I think it's about 80 designs per page. But we're just on the first page. At this point, I can submit my votes and they will be counted and they will be saved. And I also know that it's okay to just only view the first page because there's a note down here talking about randomization, which we were doing in the old design challenges as well, but we have continued that here. So the designs that I see at the top of my page are different than the designs that other people will see at the top of their page on their first page. All of them are, every person is getting a different random order. But anyways, I can submit my votes now. And then let's say tomorrow I've got some more energy and I want to come and view page 2, I can do that. So I will show you what that looks like. I can submit. It will show me a summary of all of the votes that I've submitted, which are just 3 votes right now. But I can return to voting. We can pretend this is a different day that I've come back. And now it's landed me on page 2 out of 8. And I can pick some more designs to vote for. I scroll down quickly just to kind of show you how this works. And you'll see it's now showing me that I'm on page 2. I can go through and do as many pages as I want per day, or however. I have up until voting closes. So here it says Wednesday at 8 p.m. That's not a typical time for voting closes, but I did that for this demo. I can vote and continue voting and editing my votes up until that date. And I can click submit votes here. Yeah, and then see what's left. The other thing that I think I'll show in the next video is when you're reviewing your votes, if for some reason you want to remove a vote, I don't know why you would. There's so many beautiful designs. They deserve votes, but maybe you would. You can do that from this page. You can change your favorites from this page. I believe I showed that in this last video. Let me see here. Yeah, so this page is the same one where we were looking at our entries. We could see all of our entry history. Now we're just looking at it from our voting history. So you can, this particular account that I used in the demo doesn't have voting history. But again, for those of us who have been voting for years and years, this page is going to be very fun to look at and see how much you have participated, and be able to go and look at the past votes that you submitted, things that you liked in the past. And if the challenge is still open for voting, you can edit your votes, which this particular challenge is still open. So I can edit the votes for this one. And it takes me right back to that confirmation of voting page that we were on before. And I think I may have voted with 2 different accounts, and that's why you might see different designs. So I apologize for that confusion. But yeah, just showing that you can remove those votes and then come back to this kind of like home base, your My Design Challenges home base there. So one last thing I want to show you in the slides. Those are the ends of my video. But let me get back to my slide deck. Is just what I was explaining about with the randomized order. I was seeing some questions about that. I took screenshots of different users. Through testing, I can pretend to be different users. And this is the first page of that challenge I was just looking at. And it's completely different for each person. But when you return to voting, you'll still see them. You as one person will see them in the same order every time you return to voting. They won't jumble for you, but for the next user, they will be completely different. So that's what we say. That's what we mean when we say, you can submit 1 page of votes and you are seeing a randomized list. And it should be fine and fair to submit at that point. I'm going to try to jump to another slide because I just have some slides of screenshots of what we just showed. So you're not missing anything. I'm just jumping through. And I'm just going to jump to these 2 slides that show the summary of the changes. This is what I just walked through in the videos, but I'm putting these up here so that, if people are watching the recording later and they just want to see a quick summary, they have that here. So this is a summary of changes for artists and then the changes for voters and shoppers. And I think that's my last slide. That is my last slide, yes. So I'll hand it back to you, Jessie.
That was amazing, Julie. So many awesome changes. And there's been a lot of shout outs for you and the team in chat, but one recent is from Leah. Dang, I can't imagine the development that went into randomization, but keeping it the same for each unique user. So thank you for putting that much thought into this. There's clearly a lot of appreciation in the chat.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight again, I get to talk about this, but I did not, it is a large team of really talented and passionate people that have made this work. And I'm going to make sure that they watch this and hear these compliments as well. If they're not already, they may be here, I'm not sure. But yeah, so it's a lot of people putting in this work. I'm glad it's showing.
Awesome. And so many of you in the audience have also been putting just great feedback into the chat. So thank you so much for that. We save this chat and we'll be able to review it later. And we always appreciate that kind of feedback. So thank you. Let's see. Before I hop into my slides, and Julie, I'm going to go ahead and give you a break. I'll remove you from the stage and then I'll go through some slides and then bring you back up for Q&A. But before I do that, I'm seeing a lot of questions or suggestions about finding a specific design while voting. And so I just wanted to go ahead and put together another poll for you. We're going to launch a poll right now that is, would you like artists to have the ability to share a direct link to their challenge entry during voting? Something that would allow an artist to share a link that brings their that people can click and go right to that design to vote. So I just went and launched that poll. Curious, yes or no. And I'll let you continue filling that out while I jump through my slides. And I might go a little quick because I want to make sure we have time for Q&A at the end. So first, let's go through some benefits of entering design challenges. So benefits of entering challenges you are encouraged to upload new artwork to the Spoonflower Marketplace on a regular basis. And if a regular basis for you is every single weekly challenge, fantastic. If you work better doing every other week, even once a month, however this can help you stay inspired and design for these prompts is great, whatever pace that is for you. Design around themes that we have identified as being on trend or themes that Spoonflower is planning to focus on. So this is a great way to bust through creative block with themes that we think will be successful on the platform. And I'm going to share a little bit more behind the scenes on themes in just a second. And then also get discovered during the voting process. Even though more artists than ever are entering challenges, and we're going to talk about that in a second too, it is still easier to be discovered among a few hundred or even a couple thousand entries rather than the over 1 million designs that are in the marketplace. So getting discovered in challenges is a huge benefit. So we're going to do some stats, and I mentioned there'll be a little audience participation here. So the first one is, how many design challenges has Spoonflower had? Let's see, going to get it so I can see the chat. Go ahead and drop how many design challenges do you think Spoonflower has had? And I'm looking for just a ballpark number. We don't have to get exact. I'm only giving a ballpark on the next slide. I'm going to see if I get someone close. Oh man, these are zooming by, but I saw some people at 600. So I'll go ahead and let you know it's around 650 design challenges that we've had over the years. And then our last one for a quiz here, and some of you might be on top of this one, which design challenge has had the most entries? Anyone have a guess at which design challenge has had the most entries ever? Yeah, everyone's, it's fresh in everyone's minds. Garden bedding, our most recent challenge, had the most entries. It was our first challenge to break 2,000. We had 2,003 entries, and that's after moderation. So I thought I would also just go ahead and share our top 5 challenges in terms of entries over time. And that's been garden bedding, like we just discussed, room-specific wallpaper, earth tone throw pillows, Pantone Color of the Year Very Perry, and our partner challenge with Lane Snow, which was Floral Wilderness. And I'll give a little spoiler alert that one of our upcoming challenges, East Fork, is on track to possibly land in this top 5 as well. I do want to touch on how important is it to place in the top 50. So I know that we all want to win. Of course, if we're entering a contest, we all want to win. But I want to encourage you to not focus on winning alone. Your time is best spent creating a thoughtful design. We often use design challenge entries in our promotional materials, and we have evidence that where you place in the results does not necessarily impact the success of your design. For example, here we're looking at our Year of the Rabbit challenge from January. We sent a text to our SMS subscribers, sending them to this design challenge tag so that they could shop all entries in the challenge. And you can see here, this is over 800 results. This is not the top 50. And we found that the designs that placed in 4th, 39th, and 109th all received the same amount of orders from that promotional text. So this is just proof that participating in challenges is more important than simply winning challenges. No matter where you place, there's opportunity to be featured, be discovered, and in turn, hopefully make new sales. We got a lot of questions submitted before this webinar about how we decide themes. So I just want to give you a little insight into what that process is like. So planning our design challenge themes is a collaborative effort between members of our brand marketing team and our merchandising teams. We have brainstorming meetings to plan challenge themes, usually a few months in advance. And these meetings are a lot of fun because we each bring a different point of view. We find inspiration in different places, and we come up with a lot of unique themes to share with each other. We usually are pitching almost twice as many themes as we actually need, and we vote on which themes we like best before moving forward. So there's a lot of themes that we brainstorm that we might not even run with, and we get to save them and possibly use them another time. When selecting themes, we find that we want to find themes that artists will have fun designing and that customers will want to buy. So to do that, we look at trends, and that could be trends on Spoonflower, trends in wallpaper, home decor, and fabric just outside of Spoonflower, and even in pop culture. We often are paying attention to where we see growth opportunities in our marketplace. So room-specific wallpaper and earth tone pillows are a great example of this. These were trends that we wanted to feature or that we saw people searching for, and we knew we needed more options in our marketplace. We also take into consideration Spoonflower's business priorities. So wallpaper and home decor categories are growing. If you caught our January webinar, you heard Jane, our Director of Merchandising and Category Management, talk about priorities for this year. And she mentioned that these categories are growing. If you missed that webinar, I'm going to go ahead and drop a link to the recap for that webinar in the chat. So that's there now if you want to go and catch up on that. And of course, we take into consideration themes that we think you'll have fun designing. So we obviously want these challenges to help guide you towards sellable designs, but we also want you to feel inspired and have fun designing. We want you to get lost in researching a new topic or a technique, explore the unexpected, and stretch your creative muscles. Maybe you'll even be inspired to create a whole collection around a theme rather than just one design. So Mosses is a fun example of this in a recent challenge where we saw a lot of potential for artists to interpret the theme in different ways, kind of go down that rabbit hole of research and inspiration. And not only was it a fun challenge for everyone to design for, but our community on social media really loved the theme as well. That winner's announcement from the Mosses Challenge was one of our most popular social media posts in February in terms of engagement. It was actually #1 on Facebook and #2 on Instagram. And speaking of fun, and I don't have my eyes on the chat since it's going fast, so maybe y'all are already starting to do this, but I don't want you to miss out on the fun of suggesting and brainstorming design challenge themes. So if you have an idea for a theme, go ahead and pop it into chat. We'd love to see the types of themes that you would be excited to design for. And really quick, I'm going to touch on best practices. So aside from, as I mentioned, taking your time to create a successful design, I also want to encourage you to pay attention to the recommendations in our challenge descriptions. So many times our challenge rules are generally pretty open because we want to leave that room for interpretation, but paying attention to our recommendations can be really important. And those recommendations are made in our descriptions. So for example, I have East Fork here as an example, and that's because we are not in the rules saying you have to keep it to a certain amount of colors or that you can't add certain colors, but you can see we make a recommendation to only add neutrals and to keep it simple with no more than 4 colors. And that's because that's what we really think will do best in this particular challenge. So those recommendations can be really helpful. I also want to encourage you to follow the rules, and each challenge description will have a link to see the challenge terms and conditions. And just a few reminders here, and these are all detailed in those terms and conditions. Just don't use clip art or public domain. We want this to be your own work, so not something that you've traced or copied. Don't include the likeness of a celebrity or a famous figure. Avoid copyrights, trademarks, and logos, and no art that has been generated using AI or artificial intelligence. And then the last best practice here is to invite your community to vote. So go ahead and share your designs weekly or however frequently you are entering challenges so that your audience can go ahead and vote for you. So I am going to, I know we've had a lot of questions and we had so many details to share that we only have 10 minutes left, but I'm going to try and get through as many questions as we can. I'm going to go ahead and bring Julie and Peyton back up for this, so y'all can help me field some questions. Welcome back, y'all. Let me go to our questions. All right. So first one I'm seeing off the bat is, what are we doing to moderate for AI? And I saw this, this get asked a few times upon registration, so I want to make sure we get to this one. So as AI is a newly evolving technology, our team is constantly learning about its implications and the potential impact on the artist community in real time alongside you. To moderate for AI, we look for visual cues that are typical in AI-generated art, and we also are exploring digital tools that help us identify these types of designs. We're continually exploring better ways to moderate for AI and moderate challenges in general. And just so please be patient, since this is a manual process, but we are continuing to improve that process. Let's see, what else have we got here? I see, oh, one that was our most popular submitted, so I again want to make sure that we get to this, is what is the best way for a new artist to have their design place well in challenges? So I shared a little bit about this in my slides, but I just want to reiterate that although we moderate challenges for time and for the brief, ultimately the winners are chosen by a voting process, which is subjective. So there isn't one single method to necessarily produce a winning design. You can learn a lot by reviewing winners from previous challenges. Notice if their designs are simple or complex, what is their sense of balance or use of texture. And this tip actually came from one of our own artists, one of our Spoonflower artists, Anna Aho. You can read more tips from her and other artists on our blog. And I'm going to go ahead and drop that link for you now as well. Let's see. Julie and Peyton, we've got a lot of questions about ties. Would one of you like to give an update on ties where both designers have maybe received the same rank or same number of votes?
Yeah, I can take that one. So currently today, when there is a tie, I think there is something kind of arbitrary that puts them above the other on the list. Like when you're looking at that results final list. So you might have somebody that they receive the same amount of votes and they're both in spot 15, but one will be given 15 and one will be given 16. We still will have some issues with that in the new system, but what we've decided is that if one of those designs got more logged in votes, that design will get bumped to the 15 spot and the other one will go into the 16 spot. Just to give us another way to try to break that tie when it's so close like that, because we do see that happening quite a bit. So that's how we'll be handling it in the future. And if there's still a tie after that, if the same amount of logged in votes for both, it'll go to the design that was uploaded to the site or created first, which is how it works today. But now we've got this added layer of logged in votes. We just want to weigh the logged in votes, like in those particular situations, a little higher, since those are people who are like part of our community. They're usually voting all the time. Yeah.
Awesome. That totally makes sense. Let's see. I see here from Jenny a clarifying question when you were showing the voting pages. Can you go back and add votes for a design from a page that you previously reviewed and you didn't vote for the first day? So say you've already voted for pages 1 and 2 and you go back.
Yeah, you can. We take you to the page where you left off, but you can always use the pagination at the bottom of the page to go back to any previous pages. Yeah.
Awesome. One that we received quite a bit upon registration is, does submitting your work earlier give you a better chance to be seen? Julie, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, I can take that one. It doesn't. The tie break situation I talked about is the only time when that would help. And it would just help you with that one place you're tied with, if it's between 15 and 16. But it doesn't help you get seen earlier in the challenge. Now, if your design is in search because you've made it public or made it for sale, it will be seen in search on the whole site, but it's not necessarily getting an advantage in the challenge, if that makes sense. I mean, I think if people want to take their time, take your time. I don't feel rushed. I don't think it's worth rushing. It's better to just put a good design up.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Take your time. That one little place is not as important as taking your time to have a successful design in your shop, for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Are the winners of design challenge given priority in Spoonflower searches when the design places in the top 60? Would one of you like to take this one? I can also take this one.
I can take it if you're not sure, Peyton. So our search, I think you'll see we have like a best-selling search and a trending search. And then there's other ways to sort by newest or most relevant. The only way so I guess the short answer is no. Placing in the top 60 does not help you in search. What ends up helping you in search is when people visit your design, interact with your design, they favorite it, they comment on it, they add it to a collection, they add it to their cart, or they buy it. Those are things that help you in search. Especially on that trending sort that we have, because trending looks at how much have designs been interacted with over the past week. So it's really not the placement. It's just how are people engaging and liking your design.
Awesome. I'll also just add that that's part of why participating in challenges can be so helpful for our artists, because it is that opportunity to get discovered during the voting process in that smaller group of designs and receive those interactions with your design. I saw a few people in the chat ask about blind voting, like why do we include the artist's name on the design? And it's for that similar reason. So they can be discovered, new artists can be discovered and gain some interactions on their design during that voting process. All right, well, this webinar flew by. We had a ton of good stuff to share, and I hope that y'all will stay tuned in the next coming weeks. You'll be receiving more information about these changes, and you'll definitely hear when they go live. We're super excited to bring them to you. Like Julie and Peyton have said, it's a huge team effort. We're just as excited as you are, I think. Thank you so much for joining us today. As always with these webinars, we're going to go ahead and share a link for a webinar survey in chat right now. And once you leave the webinar, you'll be redirected to that as well. And just, we appreciate, as always, your feedback on this webinar, what you liked, maybe what you didn't like, and what type of webinars you are looking forward to in the future. So Julie, Peyton, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your expertise on the artist platform. And everyone watching, we will catch you at the next one. Bye, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.